Welcome to Exchange Rates UK TV. It is the 5th of January 2022. Taking a look here at VeChain. We've had a pretty nice move south across the board here, but we're going to take a look at VeChain on a 3-week, weekly, and daily Ichimoku chart. 3-week chart, I mean, it's been pretty much trading below the Tenkan Sen and the Kijin Sen on the 3-week chart for quite a while. I mean, with the exception of spike up here during that 3-week candle that started on the 25th of October last year. It's pretty much spent the whole time trading below that, but really not getting a big drop south though. I mean that the Chigu span's still well above the candlesticks, so that's good. And there are some gaps developing between the bodies of these candles and the Tenkan Sen, so that could turn into some mean reversion set up back up there. It is kind of crazy to think that on the 3-week chart we won't be VeChain won't be trading with the full suite of Ichimoku indicators until October 3rd of 2022. So it's got a while yet before that happens. Looking at the weekly charts, a little different picture here. So it's definitely very bearish, but it's not in total bearish capitulation zone yet. There's a bunch of gap now in between, and there's a Kumo twist here that you need to pay attention to. This could be setting up for, and a whole market could be setting up for a very, very nasty looking bear trap. There's some pretty big gaps between the candlesticks and the Tenkan Sen here. And if there's something I've noticed that's not written about, but it's just something I've observed and I've started to use a lot more in my own trading, is that within the Ichimoku system, there's not a lot of tolerance given for big gaps between the bodies of candlesticks and the Tenkan Sen. And a gap in between the body of a candlestick and the Tenkan Sen is very subjective. I don't know how to measure it other than by just looking at it and saying, well, there's a lot of space there. And typically what I've noticed is that the gaps between those candlesticks, whether this is on a 5-minute chart or a 5-month chart, typically don't go more than 5 or 6 periods. And so we're on our 5th period of a gap in between, pretty big space in between the bodies of these candles and the Tenkan Sen. I'm not talking about the wicks. I'm talking about the bodies, just to clarify that. So there's what I'm saying is that there's limited movement lower on VeChain according to the weekly chart. With the weekly chart still in a bull market within the RSI, we haven't converted out of that yet, so it's in between 50 and 40, so that's still in a bull market. The RSI is pretty neutral. The percent B is not nose diving here. I mean, it had a pretty nice bounce off of those lows, so that's good. But otherwise it looks, until the Chiku span closes below the candlesticks, then that would be bad. So if it closed that below 0.065, that would be kind of in capitulation territory. And you look at yesterday's candlestick. I mean, there's a pretty wide distribution range there. I mean, from the open to the high, it went up 14% at one point, and then from the open to the from the open there, that was 13.5%. And then from the open to the low, it was down 8%, and ultimately closed down, only negative 1.2%. That's actually pretty good compared to the rest of the market. And a lot of volume traded. VeChain doesn't look horrible here. I mean, yes, it looks like it could be positioned for some pretty bearish activity, but the downside risks here should be fairly limited down to, just check out the volume profile from this range over here. Probably limited down to that 7-cent level. That's where the 618 is at. Yeah, so I wouldn't anticipate a huge move lower from here. That's what I see for VeChain. But otherwise, that does it for me on VeChain. Thank you all for watching. From all of us here at Exchange Rates UK TV, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.